Hi, it's me, Steve, and I've got an interesting topic for you today. Someone asked me a while ago, how should I charge for my consultancy? Should I charge by the hour, by the morning or afternoon, or by the day, or by the week? To be absolutely honest, I charge by the day. I don't see why I should charge by the hour. If I charge by the hour, I've got to work 40 hours a week. 40 hours, I've got to have 40 clients or 40 hours worth of clients. And then I've got to count down how many hours I've done. And people are going to say, but you didn't work that hour fully. You only worked half an hour, or you worked 2.5 hours. Okay, what I say is you book a day with me. Because at the end of the day, you're getting the full day's worth of expertise. And plus, I don't actually work a specific day for my clients. I have a topic or project I have to work on. And when I'm working on that project, I might be working on it throughout the month. I might work more than one day, but I only charge a day. But my goal is to give them as much expertise. Now, during that month, they might send me an email and I might respond to that email. Now, for me, it might take half an hour to write an email or 10 minutes. I don't want to count how many minutes I'm working and then say, yeah, I've done this amount of hours for you. If I charge by the day, what happens is I'm thinking throughout the month on a project. I will specifically say I've got time available now to do that piece of work. So beforehand, I've had the time to think about it. I've had the time of doing the work. And guess what at the end? I say what I've done, what my achievements are. Now, if I'm continuously doing, for example, someone books for 1 day a month and I'm doing 2, after a few months, I'm going to say to them, actually, I need to charge really 2 days a month, or I do less work. Now, the question often people ask me as well is, how much do I charge? There's a simple way of working this out. What living do you want? What standard of living do you want? Because if you want to earn 100 grand a year, let's say you've got a group of exhibitions you go to, so you've got 25 grand expenses, but you want to live on 100 grand because you've got taxed maybe 40%, for example, you get 60,000 at the end of it, and plus you've got your expenses of 25 grand, you need to charge 125, okay, 125,000 divided by 11, okay, that's 11 months because you need a month off every year for holidays with your family, actually 6 weeks on average. So 11 months, divide by 20 days per month, and that will give you the figure of how much you should be charging per day. Now, how much do you charge? Okay, this all depends. I'll give you a figure of 120,000, for example, but this all depends on your industry, and you'll learn what works and what doesn't. When I started with my consultancy, I actually started off with pretty cheap, 400 euros a day. The more I promote over time, I'm now charging, let's say, near £1,000 a day. But those projects I started off at the beginning were very small projects. They were very easy projects. Now the type of work I'm doing for my consultancy is building up distribution networks and partnerships within organizations. So people are actually paying for my knowledge of doing it, and also they're paying for my knowledge, or my network, to get through the door. Now, you're going to go, okay, that's just, obviously, that's pretty easy. Well, that's taken me many, many years to get to that level. So why should I be charging cheap? Because in some industries, to employ somebody on that as a job would be at least 100,000 a year as a business development person. Now, companies pay me a week a month or a few days a month. Now, the type of work I'm doing for them, they can't take me on full time because they can't afford me sometimes, or they haven't got the ability to take on too much work. So it's best to pay someone like me for a small project, maybe 2 days a month, than it would be employing someone for 30 days a month. So when it comes to charging people, have a think of how much you want to be earning. Think about what role you're going to be doing for those companies. And then also think about, well, if they were going to employ someone at my level to do it, how much would it be? Because you don't want to be too cheap. You don't want to be too expensive. And this takes a little bit of research by actually speaking to people in the industry. Now, I test this out a little bit when I'm actually talking to people at exhibitions, or when I'm actually talking to people when I'm explaining about my services on a video call, for example, an introduction call. Now, I often talk a bit higher, and if they go, what's a little bit, I'm like, okay, then I can come down. You know, I've got my expectations, but at the end of the day is I'm looking for a company I can partner with, a company I can work with. And if it's a small startup, you know, you're not going to charge a lot. If you're going to work for one of the big boys in the industry, you're going to charge a lot more because they can afford it. They might tell you that they can't, but they can, the big boys. The startups, the small organizations, you've got to be a bit wary on your pricing. You need to maybe reduce it a little bit. But your goal at the start of your consultancy is to have clients. It's about building yourself up so you have about 10 days to 15 days work a month. That's what you're looking for. And when you have 15 days or 10 days, you've got another 10 or 5 days, because you've got 20 days, yeah, to actually have additional clients. And those clients are more likely to be flexible. What you're looking at is having regular clients for at least 10 days. And that is going to be bringing in half of your earnings. The other 5 to 10 days is the bonus. That's how I look at it. I think you've got the understanding of how I set my pricing up as a consultancy when I started up and where I am now, and a general understanding of how much to charge. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, comment below. If you want some help with building up your consultancy or growing your consultancy, in the introduction there is my Calendly link or my online calendar, and you can just put in your details there and book yourself a time. We'll have an introduction chat. Thanks very much for listening today and have a great day. Bye-bye.